Have you lost faith in Rachel Reeves? It's possible, of course, you never had any faith in Rachel Reeves. 0207 862 2222, that's the number. The Chancellor was left reeling yesterday after a slew of negative headlines. The BBC alleged that before she became an MP, Reeves and two others were investigated for using expenses to fund a lifestyle, that's the actual quotation, while at the Halifax Royal Bank of Scotland. A whistleblower accused them of spending hundreds of pounds on gifts and treats for colleagues and for each other, including handbags, earrings and wine. We also discovered yesterday the economy grew just 0.1% in the last 3 months of 2024 after flatlining in the previous three. The Tories accused Reeves of killing growth with her budget, while the Lib Dems called the figures woeful, and the average income per person actually went down. The BBC also made fresh claims that Reeves exaggerated her CV. They say she worked for the Bank of England for just 5.5 years, which is 9 months less than was stated on her LinkedIn profile, and a very long way indeed from the decade that she previously claimed to have worked there. Here in the studio, we have her LinkedIn before and after, and you can clearly see there that the dates have been changed now. Her spokesman blamed what they called an administrative error. Despite all that, Downing Street said the Prime Minister has full faith in Reeves, and later on he went on the record to defend her.
Rachel Reeves has dealt with any issues that arise. She delivered a really important budget for the country that balanced the books, gave us stability, that is beginning to see those interest rates come down, those mortgages coming down as a result, beginning to see some of the growth we need. And she's determined that we go further with that. So she can deal with the issues that arise out of this report many years ago.
Stella, I wonder whether you had faith in Rachel Reeves. I wonder whether you still do.
Absolutely, I have faith in Rachel Reeves. The reality is LinkedIn is a social media profile. You may as well go out and accuse people of lying because they have the wrong date on their Facebook profiles. The thing is, you had Priti Patel, who had a formal investigation into bullying and harassment. You have all of these reports about Kemi Badenoch and how bad her work ethic is, how she has mistreated staff members. Rachel Reeves has none of that. What I want to know is, you have lobbyists, journalists who have been sitting on this story for 16 years. Rachel Reeves was investigated for this back in 2009. That was 16 years ago. We are taking this out of context. These were rewards that were given in the banking industry back then. This was perfectly normal. I know it sounds obscene to the average person, but to this day, bankers will go and they will spend hundreds of pounds on expensive champagnes and things like that. This is just how that industry works.
And hang on a minute, wait a second though. But wait a second, what about the difference between describing yourself as an economist and hang on a minute, and actually being in charge of customer complaints? When you say, I, the Chancellor, am an economist, I think people who listen to you, which is everybody, are entitled to believe that you are an academically qualified economist with a view of the economy that we can all trust. If we've actually presided over a customer complaints department, that's admin. That's nothing to do with being an economist.
The answer is in your question. She's a trained economist with degrees from Oxford and from the LSE. It is an academic title. It is not specifically a job title. Now, the real scandal for me is that what I am afraid is happening here is that the reason why this is coming out now is because lobbyists want to bully the Chancellor into being afraid of touching capital wealth, because these people are defending wealth inequality and Labour is threatening it. And this is the real scandal. The moment the Chancellor is threatening those interests, they come out and smearing their name when there is literally no case to answer.
But Saira, if I said to you, how many years did you work at such and such a place? I'm assuming you would know if it was 10 years, which is what the Chancellor claimed to have spent working there, if it was 5 years, or if it was 2 years, because it's your life story. You can't get that kind of thing wrong.
Well, listen, it's about integrity, isn't it? But Vanessa, can I just come to a really serious point? It's about Rachel Reeves. This government came into power on 2 big mandates. We are going to grow the economy, and we're going to help the working person, whatever that was meant. I'm a businesswoman. I run my business. I put my money where my mouth is. My husband's a business person. I live in the business community. The things that they have done so far, and this is where I have lost complete faith in Rachel Reeves, is they have brought in national insurance contribution rises for the employer, and they have brought in regulation that stops people from getting on doing business.
And in your business, have you suffered as a result?
Well, let me give you examples, OK? So firing and hiring people, let the company decide. Yes, we need regulation, but most people do it well. Let me give you an example. The fintech company Klarna, they have laid off 700 people. Why? Because of these financial constraints.
All right, let's get straight to the calls, which are flowing in. Let's talk to Lynn in Glasgow about this. Lynn, do you trust Rachel Reeves? Do you have faith in her?
I did have before the election. Yeah. I think the way she was talking before the election was very intelligent and quite straightforward. Then you get her coming in and taking away the winter fuel payments for people that live here, but not for people who live abroad, which a lot of people haven't picked up on. And then she comes in with a budget that takes £25 billion out of the economy. How is that, in anybody's mind, a growth plan? Because now businesses can't invest, they can't employ people, they can't give people a half-decent wage rise because they don't have the money because they're having to pay national insurance.
And tell me something, are you influenced at all in how you feel by this percolating of news about her CV, about what it said that she did when she was an employee of the bank in terms of expensive handbags and wine? Do those details make any difference to you?
They do if it starts gathering legs. I think a lot of the time with MPs, I think we've got to the stage now where we don't get a half-decent, clean MP. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet that all come falling out at one point or another. And I don't think saying, well, the Tories aren't any better, the Tories are this and the Tories, I don't think that helps the argument. I don't think pointing the finger at somebody else doesn't make you any better.
But thank you so much for calling. Let me move to Greg, who's on the line in Warwickshire. Hi, Greg.
You're right.
Yes, I'm fine. What do you think about Rachel Reeves?
I think she's just trying to plug a massive hole that Rishi Sunak and the rest of the Conservative government made. Because basically,
going about it the right way, because we're hearing, aren't we, that business people don't think so. What do you think? Is it the right technique?
It's all basically in business. It's all cut and trust. It's either you take it or you leave it. But like Dido Harding went into crawl back under a shell. Who spent £80 billion on a track and trace during COVID, and that's all gone missing. Nobody's worried about that. And then lying on the CV, meaning I've worked with people. I worked with a guy who said he's an underwater ceramics technician, and I said, "What's that?" He says, "Well, I'm a pot washer. That looks better on your CV."
All right, Greg. Let's go to Linda in Hertfordshire. Hi, Linda.
Hi, I think it's stronger than that. I think the country has lost faith in Rachel Reeves, and they've also lost faith in Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
If Labour want to succeed and they have a clear mandate with a 200 majority in Westminster, look at the top. I think it's taken them in the wrong direction. Rachel Reeves has not got business behind her. And when she says, I've had meetings with business leaders, she never says who the leaders are, who supports her. Keir Starmer has lied and lied and lied. Get rid of both of them.
Lied about what? What are you saying he's lied about, Linda?
I think from the very beginning he's lied. This £22 million black hole they keep talking about, they haven't quantified it. He never told the pensioners he was going to take away their heating allowance. And I think he's lied in a number of cases. First of all, he supported the previous leader of the Labour Party. Now he doesn't support him. He changes with the wind. And he's a con person. And people that
Linda, very much. Let's just get one line on this from William in the West Midlands. We haven't got long, William, but what would you like to say, sir?
Well, what I'd like to say is the Labour government came in to a terrible stage of the country. We were millions and millions of pounds in debt. We had none of the services, all the youth services and everything else has been cut. We have got no proper health service. We've got no proper social services. We had nothing. The Tories had destroyed it. Now, this government have had to come in and find the money from somewhere. And what they've done, they've hit the smaller people, but without hitting the very small ones. They've given them a chance to get off. But these poor farmers are moaning about it. But they're driving around in Jaguars and great big cars. They aren't short of money. They keep saying they've got no money, but they're not short of money. But
All right, William, so thank you very much indeed. Good testimony in favour of the government. Later on,